the CEO's son is on Snapchat, so let's use Snapchat because that'd be good. And then you ask an agency or someone to make it creative, right? You know this feeling, right? This is, I'm going to show you, not going to work, right? This is the type of work that comes out of that. Burger King. I screenshot these recently and they are amazing. And bear in mind, can we just remind ourselves, someone spent money making these and then spent more money putting them on Facebook so that I could see them. And now I'm taking them and showing them to you to have a laugh, right? Burger King. Can you find the hidden chicken nugget? But not just that, like when you find it. Ooh. Whoever did this is on strong acid. And then, but you can see why they did it, right? Like, I don't blame the person that did this. I blame the communications model that allowed this to be okay. That's the it's the fault of this model, not the individual person that made this, because they're just doing what they think they should do, which is be obsessed with the product. Oh, we've got to do a post about chicken nuggets. What are we going to do? Oh, well, it's social media, it's Facebook, so we can't just show a picture of a chicken nugget. What about we cover the chicken nugget in some chips, and then we can actually turn it into like a game, because like social's about like, you know, asking people and getting responses and stuff. So we'll turn it into, can you find the hidden chicken nugget? And then we'll get to like it. You can see the thinking, right? Product, media, creative. This one, Campari. If you could sum up the last 150 years of Campari in 3 words, what would they be? Now, we're all busy, right? We're all busy. No one's sitting there going, you know, and if you're like me, everyone in your whole newsfeed is getting married and having babies and, you know, some of them are getting divorced, having other babies with other people. Anyway, point is, yeah, there you go, exactly. But the point is, imagine sitting there going, hang on, no, that's 4 words, damn, hang on. But someone has taken the time to answer, and they have written, crap social media. And this is what happens. You start with a product, you become obsessed with your product, because that's what you're told to do, because you're neurotic. You're not neurotic, but the organisation is neurotic. Then you make a media decision, because that's how you've got to get it out there. And then you try and make it creative by turning it into some kind of like absurd thing that makes it even more stupid than it was before. One more. I love this so dearly. To you, I'm just going to make it. Everything about this is amazing. To you, which side of the soda is more important? Front or back? You can just imagine, I can picture 2 people sitting in the canteen saying, we've got to do a post about the car, like, you can imagine them doing it, right? And then they put it all, the agency made it, and then someone went, I like that, yeah, it's a good one, yeah, well, I put that one out, brilliant. How much media are we going to put behind it? We're going to spend more money to put media behind it. We'll start off with a little bit of media spend, see how it goes. And then this happens. This guy, Gus Ferguson, says, that awkward moment you realise the whole of the internet is laughing at you. And this is the best bit. His comment, not the post, his comment, has 4,399 likes. And 95 people saying, send me your bank account details, I'd love to buy you a drink. Right? And you know, you can guarantee that in a boardroom somewhere, or in a media agency somewhere, someone's going, oh, engagement's going up on the page. And how does this happen? Because, yes, it costs money to make this, but the only way you manage to get this amount of derision is that you spend more money syndicating it around the social internet so that more people can go, ha ha ha, what a joke. And here's the thing. I quite like Skoda and Burger King and Campari and Pepsi. And I like them less after I see this. So let's get this right. We work in an industry that spends its own money to make you think less of the brand. This is an insane world. And that's at least cheap. I just want to show you this advert that went, and this happened in the UK. I hope it didn't happen for you guys too. This is Microsoft and their new phone launch.
The Brit Awards are here, and I'm going with Clean Bandit.
Hey Cortana, when Grace calls, remind me to tell her not to dance on any tables.
Okay, I can remind you.
When Neil calls, remind me to tell him not to dress like it's 1996.
Sure thing.
Cortana, what are you wearing?
A phone. Like it?
You made me laugh, Cortana.
Thanks. I've been practicing my timing.
I'm sorry you had to see that. So, that costs a lot of money. Clean Bandit are not cheap, right? So you spend a lot of money getting Clean Bandit to come in and do this thing. You can see it, right? Product. What does the phone do? The phone has a Siri competitor thing that you can talk to. Cool. So let's put it on Twitter, because it was mainly on Twitter. Cool. How are we going to make it creative? Well, the demographics suggest that young people really like Clean Bandit. So maybe we get Clean Bandit to talk to the phone. And then, right, you can see where this is going, right? And this is the result. I don't think I've ever seen anything worse than that Clean Bandit advert. I don't know if I'm more embarrassed for Clean Bandit or Microsoft. This one's unbelievable. A piece of me dies inside every time that Clean Bandit advert comes on. I finally saw the Clean Bandit ad, and now I want to reverse galactic expansion to before the Big Bang and start over again. And this goes on and on and on for 50,000 comments. And if you're here, Microsoft, you need to see this. Because there's an expression in marketing, 50% of my advertising is working and 50% isn't, but I don't know which half. In the modern era, it's 50% of my advertising is working and 50% of my advertising is making people hate me. And then this one is my favorite. Hey, and they've actually used the official hashtag. Hey, hashtag Cortana. Remind me to shove my head in boiling acid next time that horrific advert comes on. But the person who gets it kind of the coldest and the most right is the person that realizes the truth of the matter, which is that cost them a lot of money. Surely Microsoft will run out of money soon, so they can't afford to make any more of these adverts, please. That's someone who gets it, who goes, they spent their own money to do that. So where are we? This. The boardroom first comms model is not an asset. It is not a weapon that you should use in this fight against the millennial mindset. The millennial mindset is going to become more and more and more mainstream over the next 5, 10 years. Trump's only just started. The trust is going to go down and down and down. And we're going to be sitting in boardrooms trying to figure out how to communicate with people, and it's going to get worse. And this model is not an asset. It is, as my friend over here rightly said, a liability. And Pepsi are the most recent people to find that out. And look what happened with the United Airlines thing. What happened? The CEO came out. Where did his thinking come from? Straight from the boardroom, wasn't it? It was like, let me consult with our PR team, let me consult with our other people. So they came out and said, oh, by the way, another example was Pepsi. When Pepsi responded, they pulled the ad, said, sorry, we got it wrong. Who did they apologise to? Black Lives Matter? Yeah. They apologised to Kendall Jenner. Because they're psychopaths, right? Like, we're living in an age of the psychopath brand, where good people, normal, everyday human beings like you and I, go into a room every day, and for the duration of the time that we're there, we become psychopaths. Because the organisation is so neurotic, and the system is so neurotic, and all the agencies around us, and everything's just trying to make money, but it just leads to this reduced to absurdity. And even when these guys said this to Kendall Jenner, that was another massive. And then when United did their thing, he was like, oh yes, he was being insolent or something. I mean, it's just a disaster. There you go. So here's where we are. The boardroom first comms model plus the millennial mindset equals where we are now, which is the era of unbranding. This is a time when brands are spending their own money to become less relevant. Havas did this study, and it said that 74% of the top 500 brands, they said out of 10, how much would you miss them if they were gone? And people said, the 74% of the whole top 500, they said 0. Even if you accidentally step on a beetle, you're like, sorry. You're trying to tell me that they could just disappear and no one would even care. So, brands aren't creating content, they're creating what I call non-tech, nonsense content, right? And it's expensive. And then they're using media to make sure that they inflict maximum damage on themselves. Anyway, bottom line is, this is the most dangerous place in the world, right, for a brand. And if you're working with brands or you're building a startup or whatever, you've got to get out of where your own head takes you, because it takes you somewhere bad. And we need a new weapon. So, what do we do? That's it. We evolved an audience-first comms model. At the beginning, I asked you guys, what were you passionate about? And you know what's amazing is people spend 10 hours a week searching and watching and consuming content about stuff they're passionate about. That is an opening. That's a gap. That's a business opportunity. And the word is insatiable, right? People are insatiable, like we proved there. They'll talk all day, watch. If someone said to me now, Mark, pay $500 and we will release the first episode of the next Game of Thrones, I'd be like, oh, so much money to have it. Just you know what I mean? Because it's passion beyond reason. So starting with the audience and what the audience cares about is the best opportunity to cut through and win back trust and attention. This is it. This is kind of all we have left. And Seth Godin says, we have used every tool that we have, and this is the most effective. How's it done? Right, real quick, define your tribe. So, I don't know if you guys, let's just try and do this for fun, right? Even imagine you've got a startup idea, if you haven't, right? If you're B2B, even better. If you work in the B2B world, where you're trying to sell to another business. If you work at a brand, that's easy. Sit with the person next to you and just say, who would you, if you started a business, who would you target? What would your tribe be? Go for it. 1 minute. Just chat about it.